This week on the World Triathlon podcast, I'm joined by former USA triathlete turned World Triathlon photographer Tommy Zaferes, and Jeanne Lehair dials in for a WTCS French Riviera debrief after two outstanding races in Saint Raphael and Frejus. Plus, we look ahead to Karlovy Vary, where Jeanne will be among the women hoping to take advantage of Cassandre Beaugrand's absence and pile on some late season pressure ahead of the Championship Finals in Wollongong. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe as we build towards a massive World Championship run-in over the coming weeks.
There we go.
Do you hear me?
Oui.
Hello?
Oui.
Oui. Okay, good. The sound is not too bad, or I think I'm on the road, so maybe sometimes the connection is a bit bad, but it's freezing.
Fair enough. So you are literally driving right now?
Yeah, it's my life these days. I was in Frejus, I went to Chamonix, having a stop by Annecy, and yesterday I left Chamonix to Grenoble, and now I'm doing Grenoble-Toulouse.
What's wrong with having a bit of a relaxed time after a race? Didn't you do this after Hamburg as well? You were busy as a what's it?
Yeah, and after you come as well.
But yeah, that was it. It was after Yoko. Things went crazy, didn't they?
Yeah, I went to Les Vosges, then Germany, Luxembourg. Yeah, that's it. And after Hamburg, it was not better because I went to Vichy before to go to Toronto. So maybe it's explained why in Toronto I was a bit tired. I hope for Karlovy Vary it's fine, but let's see.
But you're feeling good?
I was a bit tired after the race, and I went to Chamonix for like an event about the ecology and the sport, like not really what we could do because I know what I can do is like stopping taking the flight, but it got tipped. But I did few things and it was like very long days because we were a group, so everything instead of being like 2 hours, if I was doing it alone, it's like 5 hours, and then I'm like I cannot train. But Paolo was quite I prepare him mentally. And yesterday I finally answered to his message from 2 days ago. I said, hello, here the training I did compared to what you asked. And he didn't say anything like, oh, fuck. So I was like, that's not too bad.
There's a bit of a tussle going on between you and Paolo right now, by the sounds of it. Basically,
Yeah.
you're doing your thing but getting the results, so he's not really got much that he can say.
Yeah, I mean, the results are really good when I do what he's saying. Then I do a bit of freestyle and it's still good, but less good. So, yeah, I will have to recover properly the next night and days. And hopefully it will be fine in Carlo.
Cool. So we've also got just Tommy's literally just sort of dialed in as well now, so we'll get straight into it. Tommy's obviously been away a little bit from the sport this year, new arrivals and so on, but was watching the French Riviera.
Absolutely. Yeah, I still don't miss any races. I'll wake up whatever time the races are on and make sure I catch all of them and rewatch them too. This one was actually a really good time. It was 8:45 in the morning, so that's legit.
Yeah, I tell you what, well, because we don't have you for that long, do we, Jeanne? Or are you happy to stay on as long as if you've got a 5 hour drive, you're not in too much of a hurry?
I still have 34 minutes to give you.
34.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into your race for starters then. I guess, yeah, how was that first conversation with Paolo after the race? Given your post-race comments were pretty much focused on doing the opposite of what he'd asked you.
Yeah, like it was during the race I was really thinking, oh my God, it will be not mad, but more like again and again and again, always the same. But actually it didn't wrote to me during the race. Yeah, after the race, I don't know if I sent the message first or him, but it was like, yeah, at least you did well, so I cannot really say anything.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, third in the world, 35 points behind Leone, 40 ahead of Beth. That's a good position to be in.
Yeah, at the end of the last season, I was like, oh, I did fifth. I don't know how it will be able to do better, like at least on the general. And it seems finally, if everything go right, I could probably do better than fifth. So for now, it's very, very tight with Leonie and Bess. And I'm not gonna race way high. I know I'm still on the southeast, but I need to say to my federation to let me out. But I'm not racing way high. I
Mhm.
guess Leonie neither, but I know Bess will. And Cassandre is, I think, not racing. So I guess Bess will probably take some very important point there. Yeah, at the end, the final will be the most important race, and we'll do the final count there. So I'm kind of looking forward this race
Yeah.
to see finally I will do better than last year or not, and if I can maybe find a little spot on the podium.
Tommy, since you've been off the court, I'm sure you saw that French Riviera course and were like wishing you were there taking the photos. But any specifics you want to dial in with Jeanne?
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
always fun to see a course that I haven't been to because working for World Triathlon since 2016, you see a lot of repetitive courses and go to the same places. And the challenge as a photographer is trying to make the same place look different, to try to get different shots than you've gotten in previous years. So whenever there's a new location, it's exciting because it just opens everything up. And so, Jean, I don't know if you felt like that as an athlete. Did you feel like having a new course was an advantage, or were you like, oh, I prefer going back to some place that I know?
well, to be fair, I'm quite indifferent. Like the only thing was great because it was in France and my family could come, but even if they came in few other races. And but yeah, like for me, anywhere in France is quite nice because I know I will have support, even if I have to say that I was more hearing Ale Cassandre, Ale Emma, Ale Leonie. But it was a bit, I was like, please, could you cheer for me a bit? But I mean, it's the game. And but yeah, in general, what is nice when you already know the place is like it's more not for the race, but more for the logistic around. But then, like I mean, we are triathletes and we need to be able to adapt to any situation. So a new course or another course that you know, you will have to do the job anyway. So I'm flexible, I would say.
Nice. San Rafael is the first place I ever traveled, basically outside of the United States. When I first started my triathlon career back in 2012, I moved directly there. Didn't know anybody, didn't speak the language, and yeah, I raced for the San Rafael team. And so I lived there for about 4 months. Yeah, back in 2012. So that would have been nice to have shot that as well, just to like return to the area, 13 years later. But yeah, it was cool to see everybody else getting to experience that, and such a strong, passionate triathlon community there. So, have you ever trained there, Jean, before? Have you ever been there before?
A long, 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 long time ago, like when I was, I don't even know in the English, like meaning two is like, no, oh, maybe youth, like first or second year of youth. So yeah, it's been like quite a while. And maybe I came another time, like in a little weekend camp back in the day with the French Federation, like when it was the start of the relay and we were talking about maybe the relay will be at the Olympics. But I don't really know the place, and if I'm alone, I will not know where to go to train. So it's not
Um,
like a familiar place.
and during the
Mm.
race, what was the conversations on the bike with the group? Was there anything happening in terms of organization with like, because you guys had what 20-second gap or so on the chasers, and then was there any organization, or was everyone kind of just doing their own thing? And what were you doing?
Uh, Yeah, me at the beginning, when Jess Fulaga passed, she was so fast that I even struggled just to catch her. And so then I was like, girl, you just went too fast. Like now I'm back, I cannot even take a relay. So maybe sometimes it's a bit hard because people want to push to try to make the breakaway, but then people can a bit like less strong, like me, for example, cannot help. And so yeah, it's hard to find the balance between like I go a bit less fast like that I can be helped by the other and stuff. But yeah, at the end, and it was a race very tight at some point with the roundabout sometime.
Mm.
So it was hard to organize everyone to create like really a breakaway, I think.
What does it take in that situation to actually? I mean, there was Jess, who everyone knows has got like crazy leg power. Olivia Matthias, who was part of the breakaway in Alghero. Maya Kingma was in there, who's obviously, got a pro
Yeah.
cycling contract. So, like, if they'd really wanted to, could those three have just, I get, like, the stronger cyclists are going to be shouting at people and saying, come on, do your turn. But they could have
Yeah.
organized among themselves as well, no, if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't that much in front, I have to say. Maybe I was quite confident in my run as well. Like I was just annoyed, like I was if Leonie is coming back, that's not really good for me.
Mhm.
But for the race, like I will try to manage and do my best if they are coming back. But yeah, it's hard because it's always nice when you can have breakaway. What it seems I will never have after a good swim. But as well, I maybe need to work a bit more for it. So yeah, I think it was probably not even if the boys make the breakaway at the end. It was maybe not the easiest road to try to organize people together to create something. And there is always one day where you will feel good and you want to help, but then the day you feel bad, the other want to work. But it seems like it has to be like when everyone is in good shape on the bike to make the breakaway, and probably that Sunday wasn't this day. But I hope next time I have a great swim, we'll do a breakaway. It'd be nice.
And
Maybe the
then
course. Sorry, Tommy, go on.
I was just gonna say, and onto the run, but Doug, you were gonna ask something follow up about the bike.
Yeah, well, it was just about also maybe the nature of that. If you've got a course that is 4 laps the same, and then everyone knows that the fifth lap has this kind of slightly surprise package of an extra loop to the split transition, that I guess maybe didn't help if this is a course that nobody's ridden before and so on as well, apart from
Yeah.
but like, yeah, that might have taken a little bit of eagerness to force a breakaway out of things. I mean, we saw Tyler come off on what looked like a straight bit of road, and obviously something happened in there as well, right? So it's understandable that there was perhaps no.
Yeah, I think like the connection at the end, like me, even if we did the farm, we did it quite slow, and I think even one roundabout or turn was not totally. When we did the farm, it was not really what we had to do.
Mhm.
So to be fair, on this part, I was just trying to see where we should go. So then you focus less on doing like a good watts, and I don't know really when the girl like the chase pack got us, but it was probably just before to start the connection. And yeah, at this moment, I was like 50-50. Like, I don't know if during the connection, because everyone will be a bit lost, we will have the advantage and take a bit of second if we are less because you have more visibility and stuff. Or opposite, like we don't know where to go, so we'll slow down and the chaser will be very motivated
Mm.
and will catch us. So I was not very optimist on the connection part, but to be fair.
Yeah.
When I was watching though, you made the perfect moves. Like when it opened up a little bit, you spent a match to like ride up to the front but not on the front, and you just kept yourself out of trouble. Like you played it absolutely perfectly. So coming into transition, you kind of had clear space, and like through those narrow sections it was stretching out so much so I don't think you could see behind you, but like basically from the front of the group to the back was like 9 to 10 seconds of it all strung out. So making the right moves at the right time, like you nailed it. Yeah, because I watched the race twice, so
Uh,
definitely that.
thank you. Like to be fair, after my terrible not transition but dismount line in Hamburg, I had to prove that I could do a bit better because I was this person in Hamburg with the 10-second gap after the transition. So I was like, not twice, please. And but I was not as well very optimistic. Like when I saw where I was in the pack, I was like, that the moment you can, really need to force yourself to move up to the front. So I couldn't make it like in Alghero or Yokohama, like first going down. But at least I was like well placed, and I know where was my number. I was checking the number of the other on their bike to know if they will go left or they will go right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could pass in between people, and at the end it was good.
And you didn't get mowed down by just Fulligar or
Oh my god, yeah.
Lombardi, so that's good.
I saw the video that I
Wow,
mean,
they bounced back though so quick.
Yeah.
yeah, like on the paper, like any of them are like how to say, like guilty, I would say,
Yeah.
because they are just doing the race. But you're like, wow. The impact, I don't know if it was I know Emma was a bit scratch on the knee after it, after yeah, the crash. But well, I think she was fine because she could still run very good.
Mm.
Yeah, the impact seems. I don't know if it's because there is like a unbalance. She was not ready for that, so she crashed directly. But I watched the video like 10 times. I was like, "Ooh, happy it was not me."
Yeah, it definitely was nobody's fault. That was for sure a racing incident. But then I was always thinking back to like how much did that affect Emma? Like if it was 1 to 2 seconds, but then Leonie came and passed her just at the very end by 1 to 2 seconds, you know? So I'm like, oh, like what would have happened? Like I don't think it would have changed anything. And I hate playing the what if game, but yeah, after watching the video, I was like, oh, that's such a bummer that would happen.
Yeah,
I did want to get to your opinion on, or not.
she was still out of the transition in the very first because she was still in front of me.
Mm.
Yeah, very impressive, especially after that. Uh,
Yeah.
did you have a game plan going into the run that like if you're like, okay, I found myself running with like let's just say the other three French girls, like did you know you were going to go to the front and push the pace, or did you just go by feeling like, oh, I feel good, I'm just going to push now, or like, yeah, talk us through that.
Yeah, so I had a plan, but I didn't follow the plan. I mean, it's always hard to have a plan because things can go very fast in a race, like in the good or bad. But I know after a few races, like Cagliari in 23, I think, or even the one after, like Paolo is always telling me, "Jeanne, if you want to win or do a podium, you have to stay behind and just pass at the end." But it seems it's not my way to race. And so when I caught Cassandre and Emma, because they were having maybe 2, 3 seconds after the transition, at the beginning I was okay, I will stay behind because I wrote it like even in the morning I was writing on the paper, stay behind. Yeah, it didn't work. And so
Ripping it up on that
I was
first
trying
lap.
to convince myself. And and so yeah, at the point I was behind them and I don't know if they slow down a bit, but I was like, I think they slow down a bit and I don't like that and maybe and I want to go fast and I will explode, but I don't know. I was just yeah, like usually I just listen my legs and most of the time they are not betraying me. So I was like just going front and as well I was like, bon, Cassandre, it's a very hard part, but at least try to make the pace that maybe will make drop almost everyone and then you're safe for a podium. And so sorry Emma, but my plan was to make you drop and for my plan. My tentative at least I was trying. And but the thing is like to be fair, I thought she was still with us. And even I thought Leonie was with us because I was just when we were passing around the crowd, I was just hearing like Ale
Mm.
Cassandre, Ale Emma, Ale Leonie. So I was like, we are all four. And I was
Yeah.
no, 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 I don't want to be forced behind the French. So I was pushing the pace, just trying to at least be only three at the end to secure like a place on the podium, a spot on the podium. So at the end, it worked pretty well. So that's cool.
Yeah, on those loops, I guess there were no opportunities to really see who was around you, were there?
Yeah, I mean, I could have turned back, but I don't really like that because I'm always afraid. I'm like, if you turn back and you fall, you
Mm.
will be very mad at you.
Mhm.
So I don't do it too much. Like in Yokohama, I could, for example, just see at the big U-turn with the big cone. So it was just my only moment to see. And just like the last 500 meters, I was balancing with all the moment I wanted to check behind, but I didn't. And I checked like 100 times in 500 meters. But yeah, in Frejus, I think there is only at one point, it was like a little turn. So I could turn my head not too much to see what was going on. And yeah, I saw we were only two, so I was like, bon, let's see for the final. And then Cassandre just extend her legs and it was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. And it was important for you, as it is with Vasco and Hauser at the moment, right? To make sure you're asking that question of Cass, who, by her own admittance, isn't isn't exactly where she'd want to be. So you don't want to let her get to the front and feel like she's in control and dictating. You want to be making her second guess where she is as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of at the beginning, as I told, it was more to make drop the most possible the person as possible. So I was not thinking that Cassandre would drop, but then I was first. I'm okay in front, so I can keep this pace. And I guess she doesn't like to be behind, so it's better for me to be in front. And me, same probably as her. I don't know. We should ask her. But me, I don't really like running behind someone. And as well, I'm like, I'm small, she's tall, so anyway, she will not have a big advantage to be behind.
Mm.
But yeah, it was kind of not a mental game because it was not really the goal. But if it could help me, then could have been nice. But yeah, I think at one point I had like 2-3 meters of a gap,
Mm.
but maybe I didn't realize it. I'm like, always easy when you watch, no, not when you watch because I didn't really watch the race for now, but I will. But it's always easy afterwards to say, oh, maybe I should have accelerated at this point or I should have done this. But then I'm trying to remember, and I think during the race, there is few moments I tried to accelerate and I was just starting to be not dead because, for example, my breath and stuff were okay. Like when I passed the line, well, obviously
Yeah.
I didn't sprint like Cassandre, so I was a little more fresh. But I think now I'm like, I could have go faster, but I think my legs were just at the limit. So, but yeah, maybe next time I will try to believe a bit more that a win can happen with Cassandre next slash behind me, and we'll see what it brings.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that there wasn't any contact between the two of you when she passed, right? It was more like it was just in that moment and the legs where it looked like you sort of lost your balance slightly.
Yeah, I think because people ask me if she touched me or whatever, and honestly, I don't think so. I knew she would pass, so I don't think I was surprised. I guess I just, or she passed close and I was afraid of a bike, or
Yeah.
I don't really know what happened. But this didn't change anything, to be fair. I think it's more me that I should have at least try because like when I was in Grenoble today, like some friend was like, "Oh yeah, you did the pacer for 4.9, and then she just left, and you put your glasses on the front head, and you were just enjoying your last 100 meters." And I was like, "Fuck, they're right. I should have maybe at least try to make the sprint, even if yeah, we'll never know. Even if I have an idea of what would have happened, even if I tried." But I was like, "Yeah, maybe I should have been." A bit more focused until the end, but I think I was already super happy to be second, especially like maybe killing a French project. So
Yeah. Well, and that just that little hint of what if is presumably all you need to next time you're in that situation to draw upon, no?
yeah, I think like for example, I remember I think now it's 3 years ago, like 1 year in the eliminator format in Montreal, I finished eighth, and I was super happy to make it to the last final. And I was like, oh my God, I will finish 10 in a WTCS. That's crazy. Oh my God, oh my God. And so I said to Paolo after the race that at the end, I think I was so already satisfied and happy to make it to the top 10 that I'm still a competitor, so I was trying to go full gas. But I think because I was already super happy, I was a bit like, job is done. Now it's only bonus. And I didn't maybe push until the end the same way I would have done like in a race where I pushed 100% with commitment. And I felt after the race in Frejus, it was almost a bit the same that I was already so satisfied and surprised to be second
Mm.
that at the end I didn't fight for more. And so now I experienced it for a podium. I will try to do better as I did after the Montreal final, since it's been pretty good. So I will
Mm.
try to correct my mistakes step by step. I don't know if the result will be better, but at least I will try.
I guess it's understandable. You're 5 seconds faster than Leonie, 20 seconds faster than Beth. There's a part of you that's got to be like very delighted with those figures as much as
Yeah.
finishing 5 seconds fast behind Cass.
Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, I didn't analyze the result, but I think I saw the run and I was like, wow, that's. I knew I felt that I felt great like the when I was in Font-Romeu and then in Chicago, but I was a bit like it's always the unknown when you do a race 1 week before with the format that we are not that used to that much to do. So I was like, let's see how it if it will continue like that. And it seems the training camp is still working, so I hope it will work in 1 week.
Were you surprised that Lisa again, like for the second race running, was not more of a contender up there? Have you?
Yeah, I think we are all a bit surprised. She started the season really well, so I don't know if it's like I know she was in Font-Romeu before Hamburg
Hmm.
with the national German team of swimming, of open water swimming. So I guess, I mean, it's just guess because I don't know at all, but I guess she did very like a focus on her swim, and we can say that it worked pretty well because she's always swimming good. But so maybe this focus made her miss a bit of training in the in the run, or maybe losing some feelings. So I don't know, but I guess now I guess she's racing Carlo. I don't know,
Mhm.
but she still have some races that she can where she can do well and improve like her ranking. So I guess now after two races that are probably not what she wanted to do, I guess she will or change something, or it's part of a plan that she will be super strong in Wollongong. Let's see. But I will, I will not put her on the side for a very good position at the end of the year. So we need to stay focused on.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe the Karlovy Vary course is one that will suit her. I'm not really sure what her results over Olympic distance versus sprint look like actually, but she's
I mean, yeah, I think at the end because she won Abu Dhabi, she did third in Yokohama. She won way high,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
hard to say where she's the best. She's probably good anyway. It just depends. Like if she has a good day, she will be super good. If she has a bad day or bad preparation, it will
yeah.
be a less good. But it's true she's quite quiet on like on Instagram and co. So I mean, maybe she was even injured and we don't know. Like, who knows?
True that. True that. So Karlovy Vary, one that you're looking forward to getting your teeth into. It was you did it once before in 2019, is that right? Or have you done it more?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if it's exactly the same race, but I guess it is.
Pretty
I
much.
remember the bike was hard, the run was hard. I couldn't take my nutrition during the race because my stomach was dying. And
Hmm.
so I was in between like, oh, you don't take your nutrition, and so you will be very tired and you will die. Or you take, but your body is already dying, so you will die again. So at the end, I think in the last five, I was maybe like top eight because I don't know, maybe you check and you know how my
Yeah.
position, but it was something like 12, 15, I think.
11th.
11. But I think I was top eight, like 500 meters before the finish line.
Uh,
And and it was a big explosion in the last kilometer slash 500 meters. So I hope this year will be a bit different, but it's like 6 years later. I mean, it's WTCS and not World Cup anymore, but it's pretty cool that this race is WTCS because I didn't like I wanted to race it this last year, but it was a race super busy in the calendar, so I was like, oh, I will have to focus on doing WTCS, and
yeah.
now I'm happy because it will happen.
Yeah.
Well, your first time went better than my first time. I didn't even get to finish. I crashed out with like 50% of the field. This was back in like
Oh,
2013. But that's also where I met Martin Van Riel for the first time in the back of an ambulance. So,
I
uh,
thought you would say like you met Katy, but
No, that was
maybe.
in Varis, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tavares. Yep. The after party.
Yeah, that was so 2019 you finished 11th. Beth Potter was 8th actually that day, but
oh,
she ran like
I
a
don't have
full 4 minutes quicker than you that day. So that would
four
just
minutes.
shows like what the difference was on the swim and the bike out there. It's
Okay.
it's an interesting swim actually as well, isn't it? Like the chop and everything, like even though you were in relatively clear water in France, it still looked really like mentally intense in there. And this one is a lot of turns, a lot to kind of think of. It's probably pretty shallow. Yeah, it's not an easy swim.
To be fair, it's too far in my brain now, but I think I didn't have a great swim probably. So, but usually I prefer the lake. I don't remember it's turning a lot. I just know there is 2 laps. Oh, or three? No, two.
No, it's 2 laps, and it's very unique because the starting pontoon is part of the lake. It's like on that cement block, and it's kind of like a C, or it's like a curve almost. And then when you dive in, and like you have to go under that like little bridge where it gets really narrow. But then when you climb out, you swim underneath like where everybody is like running and diving off the platform. I don't know if you remember that, but that's like the best part. You get to run off the platform and like launch off, and it's just like a cool scene of like the people swimming under and the people diving over, and yeah,
Yeah, I don't have really memory of that, but now I'm thinking, I just remember that I lost a necklace at this race, like at the farm even. So I was a bit sad. That's my only memory.
maybe you'll find it full circle.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
So it's Friday today. The race is next weekend now. What does like travel to there look like for you and building?
Well, Paolo asked me like literally 2 hours ago, and I don't have my flights yet, so I will book them like just now when I arrive. But normally I should arrive like Thursday in Prague, like late in the day. So then I will come only Friday morning to
Mhm.
Carlo, and I guess I will go to the farm. I hope it's not too early, like that I can do them. And and then it will be already the race is Saturday, right?
But no. Race is Sunday.
Ah yeah. Oh, then I have time. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. Family
Good.
Saturday.
Good for me. So also, yeah, I will just arrive Friday. Probably see you guys, and then do the fun Saturday, chill and relax. Because in Alghero I arrived the day before the fam, so 2 days before, but quite late, and I was like, oof, that was not a good plan because, as you say before, I was like quite doing a lot of stuff in between Yokohama and Alghero, and when I arrived, I really felt that I should have arrived one day earlier, at least just to breathe a bit and relax. So I'm
Mm,
happy you are telling me the race is Sunday because I will have this little extra day that is probably very important for me.
yeah, and we need you for media duties Friday, please.
As well, yeah, I will be there.
Um,
Can I ask a question that's not really related to that, but just related to the series in general?
Yeah, why not? We'll see if
Uh,
I answer.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like your relationship with like the top 5 or 6 athletes, or athletes in like the top 10. Like who are you closest with, or who are athletes that like you don't really talk too
Do I
much, but
hate?
you're
No,
competing
I'm
with them?
kidding.
No,
Uh,
not who you hate, but just like, yeah, what's your relationship like with like certain of them? Like, do you go out of your way to like talk with them, and do you do the familiarization together, or is it kind of like, all right, we're competitors this weekend, and like I'm kind of gonna do my own thing, and then you go head to head? Yeah, I'm just curious on the.
yeah, like me, I'm quite like the social one of the group, I would say. So I'm going pretty well with everyone. Like for sure, like I have maybe more attached with the French because I race with them since like ever, and I race with them, like against them, with them, and so yeah, I'm quite close to them again because then when I was quite not here anymore, I didn't see them that much. And I met Rosa Maria this year in Alghero, and we saw each other in Super Try as well. So uh, I'm I'm often with her now. And in the top 10, I'm less close to Lisa. Best like we are. I mean, I'm okay with everyone. It's just like, yeah, I guess the French is the one I'm the closest, and then people I met on races, and I will spend time the after race maybe as well. So, but in general, like I'm fine with everyone, and there is no like the competitive mood all the time. And even I would say that during the race, I'm still competitive, but I will not try to do bad moves or stuff. I mean, I guess no one. I hope But
Yeah, I was thinking like you're probably friends with the French, and then it sounds like you're the going with the people who are the same size as you. All
yeah,
the other athletes, you don't deal with them. You just
yeah, I'm
go
like,
for
sorry,
Rosa
you're too
Maria and
tall.
Tilda Manson.
Like
Nope, she was too tall.
the connection is there is something not going through.
Plus, you were a freaking mixed relay world champion with France, right? You were on that team
Yeah,
2015. Do you know, Jean, can you remember who was on the
uh, I mean,
US
of
team?
course.
Who was on the US team that year?
Ah, US team. I thought you would say the French team. Hola, good question. They were not on the podium, no.
No, they were
It was
sixth.
Australia
think
and
I think
Chile.
their fourth leg maybe let them down.
Was I in that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you jerk. That's funny.
That was Tommy. Yeah. So it was you, Dorian, Vincent, and Audrey Mel, and Tommy was racing with
Vincent.
Who had a faster split, me or Jean?
Oh,
well, I was hunting for this, as you would obviously appreciate. So unfortunately, you beat her in across all sections, but by 1 second in T1.
no.
Like surely in
Ah,
transition, Jan has smoked him, but by 1 second you beat him.
any of them? Oh,
20 seconds faster in the swim. Ugh,
Oh
well,
man.
this is not really
wouldn't happen
surprising.
now. Would not happen now.
No. Yeah, that's why I ended my career so early. I just didn't want to lose to Jean when she got better.
So are you closing in on Toulouse, Jan?
Yeah, I arrive now. I'm in front of my garage.
Ah, damn, we got to let you go. You can't just be staring at a garage on a Friday night. That's not allowed.
Oh, I won like 7 minutes on my like planet time, so it's not too bad.
Well done.
Hey, staring at a garage on a Friday night is like every triathlete's dream, though. That's like their favorite thing to do.
True.
What? Because they finished.
No, that's just where everyone's pain cave is, like in their garage.
I mean,
Like,
to be fair, my garage is like not where I do my turbo.
yeah,
It's
good.
more in my apartment.
Yeah, that's for age groupers. You're a professional, so
Yeah,
you
it's no. I mean, it's cool, but it's just like for now there is too much boxes. Like because I love to keep the boxes even when there is nothing in, because I'm like one day I will use them for don't know what.
don't.
And so right now, I think no 1/4 of the garage is just full of empty boxes, and Nathan is like, Jeanne, can you please throw them, please? And I'm like,
Yep.
no, don't touch them.
They're full of dreams, Jean. They're full of dreams.
Yeah, let's say that.
Ah, well, yeah, we appreciate your dialing in, Jan. That was great to get the debrief like that.
My pleasure.
Um, yeah, safe travels out to Karlovy. Um, unless you want to stay on and have a little debrief of the men's race with me and Tommy, but I totally understand.
I mean, sadly, I didn't see the race because I was trying to warm up.
Yeah.
So I will not be able to say that inside.
Okay, fair enough. But you can tell us who you think is going to be men's world champion this year.
Hard one. I mean, I guess I would be a bit sad for Matthew if it's not him, because first he has like 3 wins and 1 second place, or two, no,
Hmm.
one. There is 4 weeks, but as well it's like in Australia, so I kind of can see him not winning there. Maybe not win the race, but not winning the general. I think last time it was the final there. Ah no, I think Ashley Gentle won, but she didn't win the general. But at least she won the race,
Hmm.
and so I think he will maybe not win the race depending who is racing, but even so he could. And but I think he will win the general. I hope for him. But I mean,
Got it.
they are all strong, and it will be super cool for any of them to win. So let's see. But yeah, it will be interesting.
Safe pick, John. Safe pick.
Mhm. I don't want to have problem with anyone.
All right, nice talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jan. Take care.
Bye.
Cheerio. Yeah, I obviously had to bring up that 2015 race. But
That's
it's
funny.
funny.
Yeah, I didn't even
And
know.
also, like, that's so long ago, 10 years ago, and she was in the freaking mixed relay winning team. It's crazy.
That is crazy. I didn't even remember that because like that was after I was like quote retired. And I remember that race because Greg Billington got sick and pulled out of the race and I was just like there and they were USAT was going to get penalized if somebody didn't race in place of him or something. And so they're like, "Can you just race?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I was like the top American and qualified for the relay and then did the relay. But that also was the year it was the year before Olympic trials, I think, in Rio. And so Katie didn't want to race, Gwen didn't want to race, Sarah True didn't want to race. Like all the top Americans didn't race. So
Hmm.
then the US team was Kirsten Casper and Renee Tomlin, and they were in their first year of collegiate recruitment program, or like second year or something.
Mm.
And so yeah, the first two legs we kind of like were out of it. I remember I was like, oh man, it would have been fun to have raced with like Katie or whatever. But
Yeah.
speaking of, here she is.
Katie, hi. Hey,
Sorry that
Katie.
you got to meet our daughter
Yeah, she's a beauty.
during the time that I ran across to the neighbor. I like looked at her and I was like, she's sleeping so soundly. And then
I
yeah,
hear this is the Tommy effect, though. It's like a ticking time bomb as soon as Tommy
Yeah,
gets.
as soon as Katie leaves, she's just like, I can feel Katie's not here, and this is my time to shine.
whoopsies.
Warm up those vocal cords, but yeah.
So yeah, I guess just a little recap of the Matt and Vasco show. Another one, pretty freaking exciting, wasn't it? I mean, it seemed like the least inevitable of all of the Matt and Vasco shows so far. In that, it looked like he was coming back, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Vashko did everything in his power to like mentally break Hauser because like physically right now Hauser's proven that he's like just a bit stronger than everybody in the world and Vasco he played his cards perfectly. He couldn't have done it any better. And I think he knew from Hamburg when Hauser went early that like okay, he's not going to like keep accelerating all the way to the line. Like this has to end somewhere. So last time he like got the gap and then the gap stays all the way to the line. So I think he thought, all right, if I can just get back up to him, then he might blow up. But Hauser, like looking at the facial expressions of both of them when Vasco is coming back up and Hauser's tongue is just out, and like you can see their form just like falling apart, and they're just giving everything, like literally everything. That was like the coolest thing to me. Whereas like all right, Hauser was under control like these last few races, but that one he had to dig super deep. And I feel like Vasco used 101% of his energy to get up to him, and then that was like all he had. So that was his chance. If Matt cracked, then he probably could have stayed, but Hauser didn't crack, and yeah, I was able to put in that second dig, or I guess it would have been like a third dig at that stage. But yeah, man, what an exciting finish, and yeah, the kids reaching out to give high fives. I feel bad for them because I'm like, oh, they're not getting high fives, but there's no way. Like these guys are just maxed out, like trying to get to the line, and yeah, no time for high fives. So
Yeah, that the gnashing face. I guess you don't necessarily see it that much. It's like a sign of how deep he had to go. I like Vincent Luis winning in Lausanne in 2019, or winning the world title, but only finishing sixth or whatever. Was the only other time I remember seeing someone and just go, wow, that is like full on, just the gurn of pain and push, and just knowing that those with Vincent, it was like this is one more place and I've lost the title. With Mac, it was knowing that 3,000 points was coming his way.
yeah, and we're kind of working backwards, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But Hauser, I kind of like compare him to Flora Duffy, where he is incredibly good at like leading out of the water, pushing the first stage of the bike, and then creating that breakaway. This time he had Alberto Gonzalez with him, and they both like just really made that gap, made the people chase back on. They opened that up, but then once the gap is established, then you don't really see Hauser at the front much. Like he goes to the front when it's necessary, but he is like, all right, if it's everybody together, I'm confident in my run that I can run with the Alex Yus and the Hayden Wilds of the world, like the Morgan Pearsons, everybody's the fastest runners right now in the sport, like Vashko. So he's like, it's not my duty to like pull this breakaway away because I can run against these guys for a podium. So other people kind of have to take charge in that area, and he kind of gets to reap the benefits of that. But it does take a very important part of the race, which is the first lap, the first 5 minutes of really pushing. And he is incredible at that. Like getting on the bike, pushing power, creating that breakaway, and then playing it super smart. Just sitting where he needs to sit, conserving that energy, and kind of waiting for the run and relying on the other guys. And I don't know if you saw Henry Graff's post about it was like a Super Mario's meme. He's like, I defeated the Uber runners, but at what cost? And it was like all his power numbers from the race. It was crazy numbers. Like I think his 20-minute power was like 384, and then he had like 2 minutes at like 512 watts or something. Like just these bananas numbers. And yeah, him and Vasco and like Mark DeVay and all the breakaway guys, like I thought they worked really well together to help keep that gap. But yeah, if you saw Alberto and Hauser, like once they created that gap, they kind of just like worked their way to the back and then just kind of like stayed there and didn't really come to the forefront much after that. So yeah, just kudos to Matt because he has all, like he can play any card that he wants. Like he's a master. He holds all the power right now. So beating him is going to be very, very difficult in the future for literally anybody because I forget what the run splits were, but didn't he run faster than Alex or like similar to Alex? So yeah, like yeah, and Alex had posted
13:36 and Alex 13:39.
Yeah, and Alex had posted like he did 5.1 watts per kilo on the bike, which is like really high watts for especially a chase group. And then still Hauser outran. Yeah, like it's just the level is crazy.
And Hauser's got, I guess, that like having Henry Graff suddenly in that group is a huge help in that department as well. Vasco was certainly, like you said, probably taken to the front a bit more than he would have wanted to on the second half of the bike. But yeah, Henry's proven a bit of a force. On the run, interesting. Who do you think, if you haven't seen the splits, then have a guess? So Hauser and Vasco were the two. No, sorry, Hauser fastest, then Alex, then Vasco, like 4 seconds separating them. Hayden was just under 14 minutes. Messias, understandably, just like 13:49. Who do you think was the only other athlete that got under 14 minutes on that run?
Ooh, I would want to say like Ricardo Batista or Mathis or Cantero.
It was John Reed.
Oh, John Reed. I forgot. He was in the crash. So his chain came off. I forgot about that. That's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely freaking pegged it. I mean, Cantero was 14 flat, so he was there or thereabouts. But yeah, 13:58.
Flying. Yeah, because he ran his way to what, 16th or something?
Yeah, I can't remember what his finish was, but yeah.
Awesome.
Very strong. Very strong. Shout out to him. Shout out to Martin Kropko as well. 26th on, I mean, he was the youngest in the field, beating people like Kenji, Morgan Pearson, Pierre Lecour, Vettel. I mean, ridiculous for that. I think it was him I saw go into the transition first, like 20 minutes before transition was open. Nobody else around, and then this TO had to go and like kick him out, and I was like, oh, poor guy. Like this is his first WTCS, and he's got in there early, getting kind of prepared early, and then yeah, off you pop. Brutal.
Yeah, super exciting race. I'm a man of breakaway. Like I love breakaways, and I'm always cheering for breakaways, and just to make it more exciting and like seeing the guys work together. And it's hard these days because like the separation from the top guys to like 50th place is not a lot, you know? The difference is like who's in the race and then how the race like plays out. And most of the time, like there's just a string of guys coming out of the water, a string of guys through transition, a string of guys getting on the bike. So it's really hard to like drop people, but getting a gap and then maintaining that gap and then having the gap go out, that I love seeing that. So those guys in the front were committed. Yeah, mad props to them. Charles Paquette, he's always been super strong on the bike. He did a lot of work. And they were really good about like when guys were sitting in, about just filling the gaps. So somebody would take their pull, they would pull off, and then there would be people in the middle of the group that didn't want to pull. And instead of them getting mad or upset or like yelling like, come on, like let's pull, and like getting it in chaos, they would just fill the gap and be like, screw it, I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to continue to ride. And hopefully that if they get enough recovery, then they will come through at some point or something like that. And there was like, obviously there's a few people who are sitting in quite a bit more, but the athletes that were coming to the front, when they were on the front, they were really pushing. And so Vasco, like his performance on the bike and that power and how much time, as you said, like towards the end of the race. I don't know how hard he was pushing, and maybe he just felt more comfortable and confident being on the front leading in through that section, as Jeanne was talking about, where it's like nobody really knows, and it's nice to be in the front to be able to see the corners or see what's coming up and like be prepared. So maybe that just helped his confidence. And at that stage, like if there are a lot of turns, it is stringing out. So it's not like people are getting a free ride. It's still like pretty hard. And he's really small. So if like Henry Graf's behind him, he's probably getting like 50% of the draft that if they were to switch roles, then yeah, but those guys, yeah, the bike numbers are insane nowadays. And then running those times off that kind of bike is, yeah, mad props.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that all boils up to a nice Karlovy Vary ahead, right? Be wicked to see what Hayden does there. It'll be amazing to see Matt over the Olympic distance. I feel like Chonga Lehman missing France. He's obviously been somewhere putting in some hard yards. He's won there before in Karlovy Vary. John Reed won last year. So yeah, I think we got a cracker lining up.
That course to me is like one of my favorites. Not just being there to like shoot, but being there to like watch the race unfold. And I said earlier with the Jeanne thing, like I never got to finish when I did race there the one time, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But have ridden that course many times, and having the two different transitions and like the ride into town, and then like 9 laps on that technical circuit with the hill. It's just so unique. And going through the tunnel where it's like full black. I don't know if you remember from like the COVID years when the World Cups became like the Championship Series races, because there were no Championship Series races. So all the WTCS level athletes were all racing the World Cups. And so, yeah, it was basically that. And there was a breakaway there with like Vince and Vasco and Kenji Neener and
Mark,
I think
Mark DeVay.
yeah, Mark DeVay, yeah. And then they crashed in that tunnel, like coming into transition. And yeah, it was like such a bummer. But that always makes it interesting because it's like, yeah, it's a bright town because there's all the buildings that are lining the streets. And if the sun is in there, you know, there's just sun everywhere. But then you go into the tunnel and it's just pitch black. So that adds an extra dynamic. But yeah, one of my favorite courses to be there to shoot, and also, yeah, to watch the racing unfold.
Yeah.
It always plays out super, super interesting. Like that Morgan Pearson year where he just went solo off the front. Like,
Yeah.
haven't seen that before. Like, yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. That was Vasco's kind of rising moments as well, wasn't it? He finished behind Vincent in Karlovy Vary that COVID year, and the Hamburg World Champs, standalone World Champs. The other thing about that bike hill is that there's quite a nasty speed bump right before it, isn't there? So you don't even get to build up speed into it. You've got this like absolutely sadistic lump to get over before you hit the hill.
Yeah, making sure you don't drop your chain is super important. So my claim to fame, I came back for redemption from my crash in Karlovy Vary, and one of the years that I shot it, which was the COVID years, I was actually doing a pre-race ride with Jelle Geens, and after I told him, I was like, he wanted to ride the course just to like do a recon ride, but it wasn't closed, it wasn't the course fam, it was just like a couple days before the race, and that's a one-way street, and they have bollards there, like you're not allowed to drive cars, and they have the speed bumps there, and I was like, man, I want redemption for this race, and so I want to go for like the Strava KOM up this climb. And so the two of us, like we rode into that like full gas, and then yeah, I remember hitting that speed bump thinking like, oh man, I don't remember this from like 10 years ago, whatever it was, but yeah, that hitting that bump was like completely throws you off your game. But yeah, I did a full minute, like I think it's one of my highest powers I've ever done for a minute, and then got the KOM. And I checked last year after the race, and I still have it. So that's my claim to fame.
Yeah, there's not many Olympic distance races that aren't done that aren't done inside 2 hours, and that is definitely one. I think that's usually around the 2, and then more like 2:05, 2:08 for the women. So Plenty of action, triathlon.
Yeah, and people forget about the run too, how hilly the run is, because we always talk about the bike because it has that steep hill, but the run is still quite hilly. Like it has two hills that you have to go up and down
Grinding.
multiple times,
Yeah.
and the downhills on the run, that's what gets you too. Like your quads just start burning like crazy running down, especially the paces that these guys are running. So that always makes it interesting because Olympic distance, anything can happen that last lap, like people are getting through 7K, 7.5K, and then all of a sudden, like the game changes that last lap, and it's just whoever, can hold it together the longest.
Totally. All right, good stuff. Well, enjoyed that. Thanks, Tommy. I think we should do it again in 2 weeks' time and do a Karlovy D and a Way High Pre, if you fancy it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
You get back to your fam. Have a great weekend. Love to Katie. Hi to Kimball. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. See ya.